So another benefit going through this process is
It forces you to create process. It forces you to create procedure. It forces these things sometimes, these approval chains. We have best practices that we use, templates from. When we come into an organization and say, do you have a business continuity disaster recovery policy? Yes. What is it? Is it written down? Is it documented? Has it been tested? How frequently do you test it? What are your recovery time objectives? What are your recovery point objectives? All those things that are super important to the business leadership, but it doesn't have the time, effort, resources, capabilities to execute. My branch offices, right? So if I have a branch office, I'm going to need a key point of contact in each branch office if I'm supporting that office from my centralized operations center, so that if this office goes offline, I can notify them. They can distribute that notification to their employees and say, hey, our office is offline. We've got an ISP outage. Netrio's escalated it with the carrier, which I'm going to know for my vendor list. And then we'll bring it back online and communicate effectively.
good.
So all of that, and then, of course, any key groups here, right? For instance, if my SaaS application is down, and let's say for HR, I use Workspace, but my finance department is not going to be concerned if Workspace is down. So if my SaaS provider has an outage, I'm listed as a qualified vendor. I'm going to turn around, I'm going to notify the end user community, because they're going to need to know that, hey, this is down, or I'm going to get an influx of support requests on my help desk of people calling in saying Workday's down. So this is that proactive approach towards notifying people before they have to tell you that something's wrong. So we're gathering all those key points of contact. For my laptop vendor, let's say I'm using Dell or HP, right? I'm going to understand what these asset tags are associated with each of these assets. I'm going to tie that back to a vendor. I'm going to tie it back to a support contract. The support contract is going to have an SLA. So I'm going to understand, do I have next business day service on this asset or same business day service on this asset? That's going to do several things for me. It's going to tell me how to set the expectation for the end user if something goes wrong. If it's a service depot arrangement where they have to box it up and mail it back to their manufacturer, then I'm going to understand that based on that information that I'm gathering during that phase. Maybe we want to take the hard drive out of that, safeguard it until we're sure that their backup is working properly. All these things we use to make decisions around service delivery. And during this process, we're gathering all those critical systems contact information.